I don't speak Portuguese. I can speak.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of That's Insane with Aja. I hope everyone is doing well today. I have a wonderful episode. I know a lot of you guys have been asking this question on my TikTok, and I want to talk about the eclipse that is supposed to happen April 8th of this year, which is just in a couple of weeks now, and some of the conspiracies surrounding it, as I know there's a lot of information, but I'm actually going to tell you what I believe April 8th is supposed to be about, what it is, and what are they telling you to prepare for. A lot of people don't know that I actually have been talking about this since January when they first kind of released an article talking about how it'll be the first total solar eclipse since like 2017, and we won't see another one for a very long time. So let's get into it. First of all, take a breath. I know today has probably been a lot because today has been a lot for me. Just in all, I mean, I've had dozens and dozens of people coming at me per usual. You know, my old tinfoil hat that everyone tells me I need to go get. I don't care. Merch coming soon, tinfoil hat gang. Like, I just want to say I appreciate everybody that is a part of my community and that is building a community with me and around me. As today I just hit 600K on TikTok, and a lot of people don't even know that I haven't even been doing TikTok a full year. I popped up one day talking about a submarine, and you guys loved it, and I loved you guys, and here we are. We're a thing. We've been a thing. Me and my twin in the cup, we be vibing. Okay, enough goofing around. A lot of people don't know I am actually really goofy. I just try to hide a little bit. Nevertheless, so April 8th, right? I'm gonna tell you guys about my original prediction, right? So back January 9th, I put a video on TikTok, right? And the proof is in the pudding, boo, because I don't lie. Of darkness. So back in January on the 9th, I released a video talking about a point that really no one has really said anything about. Everyone's talking about 3 days of darkness. It's a biblical prophecy. I study a lot of books that are not considered canonized bibliography, but they do have what people call real stories of the Bible. They just really can't be traced back to one specific origin, because usually they're a bunch of like rambles or excerpts that are put together, and this is why they're not canonized, because they can't prove that it had anything, any supporting evidence from Jesus himself. Nevertheless, I read it because I make my own destiny, I choose my own will, I choose what I like, and the Bible, you know, had books taken out of it. So there was this book called The Crucifixion of Darkness, and it was about Jesus, and it said that this book is about the crucifixion of Jesus himself. And what it relates to in the solar eclipse is actually very, very sketchy. Like, it had me throwing for a loop, but I need some more water. So this book, right, it was found in like a Roman Catholic cult. Nobody knew who wrote it. Nobody knew where it came from. And that's why it's not real canonized bibliography, because outside of the New Testament, scholars have not been able to prove it to being around prior to then, which is something that needs to be recognized by like a pope or whoever so that it could be in the Bible, right? And don't come for me, because y'all love to come for me. But basically this book talked about the day that the earth somewhat stood still, which was the day Jesus was crucified. And they said that while Jesus was being crucified, it was as if the earth plunged into total darkness, and this darkness lasted for 3 hours, and it was called the crucifixion of darkness. And that's like, everyone's talking about these 3 days of darkness and ancient Egypt times. Like, I've been telling y'all since January, there's some darkness in it, but it literally talks about the day that Jesus was crucified. And if I'm not mistaken, it's called The Gospel of Nicodemus. That's the name of the book. I could be wrong. Don't fact check me. Like I said, don't be those people. That's not for these people. That was one of the main things that drew me to the total solar eclipse, because I don't understand how nobody could see that. And I think what it was like the date matched up with the date in the book. That's what it was, because there was a correlation that I made because I was trying to understand the significance behind April 8th. And there were so many that I referred back to like the Apocrypha, because I always read the Apocrypha because there's a reason they're not in the Bible. And I referred back, and if I'm not mistaken, the day that they said Jesus was supposedly crucified, which does not line up with bibliography, because Christians, Catholics, everybody says a different day, right? That's what drew me to that book, and for it to correlate to darkness and a solar eclipse in the Bible, crazy work. But like I said, please don't be those people. And lately I have been getting attacked, honey. I mean attacked. Which is okay because everyone's entitled to their opinion, I'm okay with that. I'm cool with that. But when people, I have feelings. I do have feelings. So let's be nice to Aja. Please. I'm sorry. Whatever. So now that we have gotten past what I believe, a lot of people are saying that it'll be this 3 day of darkness prophecy that will be fulfilled. I'm not negating that, but hey, it could be, I've got my head right with y'all. Why else would they be telling us to literally stock up on food, fuel, charge your cars? And now they are saying like the gridlock traffic is just the least of our concern, and that if you are traveling in the path of totality, be prepared to stay all night. They want you to stay all night. And this is messing up my hair. I love it, but we gotta work on the model for the merch, because I'm feeling merchy with the tinfoil hats. Yeah, but they have said today as well, which is freaking me out a little bit, is that we will not be able to use cell phones. And I find that very crazy, because that's not something they were saying in 2017. In 2017, there was not this much chaos, as well as you have to use these special glasses. Please, you guys, get the correct glasses. Don't use sunglasses. You cannot look through like a Mac. Like, just don't look at the sun, or you will probably go blind. Please get the right glasses. I think they're only a few bucks. I may be wrong because everyone's price gouging right now, so I believe they'd be price gouging for that too. But yeah, so on to the next conspiracy, right? So in Leave the World Behind, right before stuff started going AWOL, right? Things started happening as far as communications. There was a solar eclipse, and then there was a solar storm right behind it. It was like a bright blue light, and everything, all the communications were down. They were down. And one thing I don't think anyone has realized is in the last 3 days alone, we have had the most solar activity ever since like 2016, since things felt okay in the world. And they have been like back to back, like X class, M class. And what do you guys think is going to happen when the sun is blocked? I'm just saying, the sun is blocked, and now you have people who are just looking up like, and no one's really paying attention to the other side of this. April 8th, nothing could happen. We could all just frolic through the flowers. It could go like this and nothing happens. Or CERN could turn on that good old Hadron Collider. Oh, yeah. That's the next thing I'm going to get to. So apparently, if you don't know anything about CERN, they have this particle hadron collider that was created in like 19 something, right? They were messing around with particles in the 1900s. The most modern thing in the 1900s was a freaking, I think, microwave oven. I don't even think it was a microwave oven. I think it was the most prominent invention in the 1900s was a microwave oven. Nevertheless, CERN, which is a scientific research organization off the Swiss-Europe border who messes with dark matter and everything in between, will be shutting a part of the machine on, the Hadron Collider, which is massive. They're going to be cutting that on April 8th for the third time this year. The other times they just started cutting on was March 22nd, and they cut it on March 25th. And I find it very crazy because those 2 days were so hectic. I mean, can I curse? I don't think I can curse. Nevertheless, but the stuff around just this last week has already been crazy. So for CERN to pull up and be like, Hey, we cutting on that particle hadron collider on the Swiss Europe border that literally takes so much energy it kills everything around it, and you can only turn it on certain amounts of the year because of this. And if you follow my podcast on Spotify, I have been talking about the demonic presence of CERN for the longest. Like I did a whole CERN spiel because a lot of people don't know when they turned it on after doing repairs in 2008 when Obama became president. That was also the year my parents got divorced, and a lot of other people's parents got divorced, and all these economic weather crisis issues that started in 2008, and they just been turning on and off without nobody seeing. So what if they are opening up a portal? Because that's, if you ever seen Stranger Things, that machine that was in the basement that they were fighting the things that were coming out of them, the mouth breathers or whatever they were called, because I don't remember, that machine was a particle collider. I'm pretty sure that whole excerpt was about CERN. You couple that, right? So you couple that we have this massive solar eclipse of totality. Like there's a whole path that's gonna go darkness. You go dark, you go dark, you go dark, you go dark, you go dark. Then you have CERN on the Swiss Europe border. They have multiple locations that are they're gonna fire up this machine. This machine's gonna come on that they use to literally recreate what happened 10 seconds after the Big Bang when the Earth cooled and the Earth rotation slowed down. They recreated that with this machine. They have discovered dark matter, which is called dark matter because it's matter you're not supposed to see. They don't know where it is. They just knows it exists. They created dark matter as well as the particle of life by turning on this machine. That's what this machine does. It's massive. So they're going to be turning it back on April 8th, and it's going to stay on till April 10th. Please. What is going on in 2024? Would anybody like to tell me? Oh, okay. Nevertheless, a lot of people who don't have their tinfoil hats, you know what I'm saying? They ain't rocking the merch. A lot of them don't really understand why we conspiracy theorists have these theories in the first place, right? So, and it comes with critical thinking. We are critical thinkers who can see right through the poppycock of the world. You know, there are different levels of dimensional awareness. And I don't mean to go on a tangent, but I mean, this is all related, right? There are different levels of consciousness, right? You have the people who are on the bottom level who get on TikTok and they, BS around. They talk about everybody. They call us the tinfoil hat people. Go touch grass. And these are the same people that when they lock the screen of their phone, their computer, they couldn't tell you if someone was stealing out of their bank account right now with a deep fake AI. They couldn't tell you if the person in front of them wanted to kill them because they have no discernment. They can't read energy. So please, when you guys are having people, like you're talking to your friends and they're looking at you like, please know it's because they're on the wrong level of consciousness. You may be above them where you are just newly into your consciousness. You are just now starting to feel uneasy before something bad happens, right? You are just now able to identify the cycles of your life to where you can pivot and become rich. You may just now be able to do that, and that's okay. Don't let anybody stop you. If that makes you a tinfoil hat, put the hat on, get the merch, and we're outside, because those are the same people who won't even have a bottle of water when the world is ending. Okay, they won't know where to go. They're not going to know where their local bunkers are because they were too busy calling you crazy. You see, so just what you think will happen when, right, the solar eclipse, they're saying we will have no cell phones. And that already doesn't make sense because all the cell towers that are in the U.S., how everyone's screaming about how much great 5G they have, shouldn't that be up to the network that you have? Let's think logically. So if it's not up to the network, then why are we not going to have cellular service? I have never heard of the U.S. saying anything about cell towers being blocked by overusage. It sounds crazy. Over usage. You know how many billion people use these cell towers daily in the same area? Think of New York City. That's who's saying it, by the way. Think of how many people use their phones in New York City alone on a daily basis, at the same time, on the same subway, on the same train, in the same car, in the same traffic, at the same office. Think of one building, one office building, how much they use the cell towers. And you're telling me for this eclipse, all of a sudden, the cell towers are just not going to work. It's not going to work. You guys, I've been so clumsy today. Thankfully, I drank it all. Yeah, I'm a klutz. I told you guys that. Yeah, but that's how passionate I am. Calm down, Glass. But yeah, you're telling me that all of a sudden, all these cell towers are going to be like, nah, not today. Maybe another day. Not today. No, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It makes zero sense as to why all of a sudden the cell towers are not going to work. Then you have that, and you're telling us to make, if your car doesn't stay charged for 10 hours, don't drive it. Why do we need 10 hours? I have never been in 10-hour traffic. And people are saying that there are going to be these people that travel from... There are millions and billions and... not millions and billions, but there are more than enough places where you can go and see the eclipse that I would not think we have to worry about gridlock. Only time you should worry about gridlock traffic, like, and leave the world behind, is when people are trying to get in and out of a city. That's what gridlock traffic is. You know, in the apocalyptic movies, when all of a sudden all the cars just stop? That's gridlock traffic. Why are we worried about that on April 8th? My anxiety? Actually, my anxiety is fine because I expect these type of things. But nevertheless, that whole thing is crazy. I don't understand that. And then they're saying stock up on enough food, water, and fuel for multiple days. And if you have a generator, make sure the generator has fuel as well. Why do we need fuel for a generator for an eclipse? Is no one seeing where that's weird at? Is no one saying, Or is everybody talking about why we should just leave it alone? Because if something is happening for a couple seconds, why are we buying stuff that lasts 2 weeks? Remember when COVID was happening, they told everybody to get tissue? And it turns out we should have been getting food. If they're telling everybody to get food, fuel, and water, should we really be getting a bunker, radios, and electrolytes to last in case the sun don't come back? Should we be getting vitamin D packets? Like, what is it that y'all not getting out of this? The government is a liar. They lie to us daily. Okay? But y'all want to believe, no, these people are crazy. I think it's absolutely bonkers. But for everyone's safety, at least on my channel, if you watch me, do what they're telling you to do. Get the glasses, get the food, get the fuel, get the water, get everything. Get some vitamin D packets, get electrolytes if you have kids, and make sure you have Pampers. You know, these are just things that if they're warning us, you got to look a little deeper into. You got to put your hat on and say, okay, well, I might not be able to call my mom, so let me get a radio. Go grab mama a walkie-talkie. Make sure your family has walkie-talkies in case, there is traffic and you can't get anywhere. But I feel like people just going to start walking anyway. And what happens when you're in this location and you can't, schools are out for the children, which is bonkers. Why is school out for the children? If anything, they should be in class studying what's going on. But, when school's out for the children, when there's a national threat or a storm. Rainstorm, no school. Snowstorm, no school. Solar storm eclipse, no school. I don't know, guys. I'm just a conspiracy theorist. And these are my own thoughts, beliefs, and ideas. I hope to be here with you guys for a very long time. And we are celebrating 600K. I love you guys. I will see you guys next time. And thanks for tuning in to another episode of That's Insane with Aja. Be great. Don't be late.